Seriously, Phoenix is much more green than I expected. Maybe it's extra green in the winter time. At least it's not white. I think today is supposed to get up to 70. What, December teen something teen. Going on this trail to 104th Street and then get off, and I think I'll continue on this big circle ride travel trip to hopefully end up at Fry's Food, maybe pick something up and then come back. And I'm guessing that this is free at 104th too, because it looked like it was free at the park spot back behind me. Wow, the dog poop disguises really well to look like the rocks around here. Nearly stepped in some. I was just thinking about Washington, how and in my general habits of when I bicycle around and come across a trail, I want to check it out. When I was doing that in Washington, just riding roads and checking things out, I remember coming on one trail and just walking and getting lost in forest of huge trees, just thick trees all around. It was really amazing. And then to contrast it to this, such a difference between the environments in Washington and the southern part of Arizona. It's really something to sit back and think about. There's such an incredible distance in between each other. I can't just bounce over to Washington and bring back the memories of that. I did make some video of it, of course. I'm trying to remember. I think it was in Forks, Washington. I spent a considerable amount of time in Forks bicycling around, and that seemed like it was it. One of the rainiest places on the planet compared to one of the driest places here. But I mean, here we got flash flooding. Washington probably gets flash flooding, but it's just like a continuous drip that may increase in dripping at times. Here it's just like dry, and then suddenly I guess a huge tidal wave floats through the area or something like that. Alright, I was wondering if I was approaching a house. Apparently this is the entrance, a parking lot. Yeah, so I can get back on the road. They built it up a lot. Oh, the big old map. I am there. A lot of trails around. What is this for, your horse? People don't really use horses around Washington area. Oh, they got, the rules and regulations, after hours parking, don't be a victim. There's a lot of park spots. This must be a bathroom. Nope, they definitely don't have any bathroom. It's it's for garbage. I was about to say I could get right in there, but it's for garbage. So on Bell and Thompson, I didn't realize that there's a grocery store. It might actually be closer than Safeway. Yeah, on Google Maps, it doesn't call it Bashas'. I know Bashas'. I've seen that in Sedona. They're just putting up the sign, so maybe it just changed over to Bashas'. Looks really fancy. It's a big one too. They got their own Starbucks. They should have. I don't recall actually. I'd like them to have internet, but who knows? I don't recall the last one. When they have Starbucks, it's not a guarantee. If that lady at the grocery store didn't repeat herself, I wouldn't be repeating what she said in my head so much. She said, use the fingerprint. Use the fingerprint. And I didn't even look up. I know she wasn't talking to me. I didn't use any fingerprint in the first place. And now I got it repeating in my head. You the fingerprint. 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 And this is in a grocery store. You the fingerprint. You the fingerprint. She's a smart lady. I'm not saying she's retarded. I'm making it sound retarded, but she was on top of her game. You the fingerprint. A grocery store using fingerprints? It's happened again. I lost all my books on Kindle. I go to read and there's nothing here. It says I have to get online. I don't know what these books are. These are like promotional. No internet connection. I gotta find internet to re-hook up, I guess. This happens every so often. It saves online for a month or so and then it just erases everything. And I gotta get online again. The whole point of the Kindle for me is to like avoid being online. But they have some kind of a system set up where they reset it or something. So I went to the library, Mustang Library, and there's two bums there sleeping in the front area. Whoa, holy crap, I could have gotten run over. Parking on the side of the road here looks very nice, right before Fry's. There's all kinds of cars parked there. There's plenty of space. Here I was thinking Home Depot, but I found my rental home. It'd be funny if half these cars are self-driving. It's so busy. It's kind of surprising, as busy as this road is, they don't have any overwalks. But then again, maybe not a lot of pedestrians are around, so that's a factor. These Sausage McMuffins are so good with tomatoes and eggs. I've been eating them more frequently now. I got green tea, 3 green teas, which I go through green tea pretty fast because I take such a large quantity. A little mints thing I've had for a while, mint medley, and a copper cup in distilled water on some magnets. That's my combination. No, it's all cold brewed. Too many grackles suffer from mental illness. They parade up and down the parking lots and make weird tweeting noises. Like they just can't quite get their thoughts in order. Seems my nose has a bit of a bounce to it. Or sideways. Alright, I find that Scottsdale is a little frustrating to get to the food banks. Things are so spread out. I have to put them out of my mind. I have them on my map. They're marked on my map, but they're so far to bicycle, or just, I don't know, if they're far from my parking spots around libraries, safe parking spots that I feel I can park all day. I just gotta get further south, and it's just like there are more food banks, but they're so spread out. I don't even want to consider them. I have to pay out of my own pocket for the food. Getting around is just too hard. It's so much traffic. Not only is there a long distance between things are so sprawled out, but then you got to deal with the heavy traffic too. Well, 6 p.m. the air doesn't seem too bad. This is the library parking lot, and it's not too full either. does not get packed. That's why they're not regulating it. The rich folk around here. It looks like you could really step up on these stairs. It should be a wall, but they put stairs on it for some reason. The rich folk can pay for their own internets. The better service than what the library has. Library's kind of pokey. I mean, who am I to complain? So, the Home Depot, I consider it as a secondary option for parking. I think I definitely prefer the auto park. I think I go out this parking lot, take the roundabout, and then the road straight to my road where I take a right on. Should be pretty easy. It's just incredible. 5:30 a.m. and there's no sun. I'm like, I feel kind of awake. Like I could go for a bicycle ride, checking places out, but not really in the dark. And the sun ain't gonna come up till like 7 or so. It's a bit of a struggle. And I think being in Phoenix area, being Scottsdale, it's like if I was here in the time that the sun would be up at 5:30, it would just be too unbearably hot in the area to explore. So it's kind of a frustrating situation. You don't get much daylight to explore around the area. But if you wait around for the season that there is enough daylight, it's too unbearably hot, probably too unbearably hot to check it out anyway. Get to work, you bums! Hurry! Get to work! People expect you! Yeah, it's still a little dark for this camera. Getting away from the highway, it looks like, on this trail. This well-paved trail with the yellow lines separating lanes because it gets that busy. What's more important to the locals around here? Being clean, the city being clean, or the city being scenic? Yeah, it's still way too dark at about 6 a.m. Got to the library at maybe 5:30 a.m. It's 6:30. And there's two bums there. Those are the only two bums I see. Library is the most popular spot. I think there's one bum in the back, actually. I did see him yesterday, but I didn't look today. But the bum activity is very non-existent. Well, I practically walked from one Home Depot to the next. When you got Home Depots within walking distance, that's a dense city. And they're putting up something of 7 or 8 stories tall here. You just hear the construction. You see they've come a long ways. They might even add more floors. It's a lot going on in this more southern Home Depot. I wonder if I've ever been anxious and depressed after waking up in the morning. I don't recall that ever happening. Something I have to think about hard because it seems like more along the lines I wake up feeling in a good mood for the first maybe hour or so. I'm in a good mood, but the afternoon really brings out some depression and anxiety, like I've failed again. But this morning it feels like a new bright future is ahead. 7 a.m. I usually prefer to get footage of whatever early in the morning, but I have been having the whole off. Welcome to the poor area of the city. They don't have much for walls for themselves, but they got a good sound barrier from the highway. Alright, near the Walmart, Southern Scottsdale. It's a little dirtier. There's fewer walls. It's a little more relaxed, but I think, yeah, it looks like Walmart's enforcing some overnight parking. No overnight parking. There's not a single Walmart in Scottsdale that's good for parking overnight. You're risking it. You're risking it. And then the USIC. I think that's something else. I got the impression it might have been security. They have to bump up security even. And there's no RVs either, so there's nobody defiant against the rule. It's enforced most likely. I mean, this is a nice weather area, so people would take advantage of it if they could, just park in the lot. Oh man, I was hoping Walmart would be good, but I didn't expect it, so you know, there's alternatives. I find this channel interesting. It's all for the flooding when the flash floods hit. They got to be extra prepared. So Scottsdale does a really good job of cutting off internet outside of the building. You can see it, you just can't connect to it. I don't understand how they're doing it. It seems maybe software is giving a message that if the computer is a certain distance away, you don't allow access. All right. You need a permit, okay. You need to unlock the lock. All right, so, oh, I got a little graffiti there at the Volvo Penta. I used to sell Volvos. I guess I could pass through here. I guess that it's hard to tell. This is a size for a good tennis court, but who knows for sure what it was. It's just an open area. They got, it's like baseball batting practice here. Looks a little run down. Hard to tell if they're really maintaining it. This area is kind of fallen. Have seen better days. Notice, pursuance remedies set forth, sublease. Terminated the sublease. Oh. Yeah, so they've given this area up. They're definitely recreating the whole area with new businesses. Hard to tell what was all here before. Google Maps would probably reveal it. Discount cigars and tobacco. Target. I want to use the Home Depot bathroom. Roadhouse Cinemas. I hope I didn't pass Home Depot. It looks like I may have passed it. It might be deeper in.